Greetings, everyone. This is Arnita Johnson Hall here with Luxurious Credit. And today we are going to go over how to categorize the transactions in your Mint.com app. The importance of categorizing these transactions is because you want to make sure that Mint.com will create the best and effective budget for you possible. And if you fail to categorize your transactions, it's going to be difficult for Mint to create a trend for you. So what I am going to show you today, which can be very tedious, but I can assure you that it is going to help you create a better budget. And of course, we are wanting to do this so that we can save money and to see exactly where our money is going. So for starters, anytime you go to the ATM machine or that you use, you're pulling out cash, it's going to automatically become uncategorized. It is up to your discretion how you choose to categorize these transactions, and even if you choose to categorize these transactions. For me, I know what these transactions were when I pulled the cash out. And what I mean by that is I know where the money went. But of course, it would be great to go in and categorize these transactions, even though the cash was pulled. So for example, I know that this $600 that was pulled was actually my son's tuition. But what I am going to do is just change that. And all you would do, let me show you what I did, is just click on the actual transaction. And you can change the category by clicking on the arrow. You can either choose a category here that has already been created for you, or you can create one yourself. And I will show you how to do that later on. But it says here, hide from budget. I necessarily would not want to hide anything just for the simple fact I want to know where my money is going at all times. It does already have in a category for me where it says uncategorized, and it says cash or ATM. That is what I'm going to choose, okay? So that way I know how much I pull out for cash each month. The same thing for here. I pull out the cash to give my father money, pay his bills or what have you. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this tab over to cash as well. I did get my father an AMX Bluebird card. So now instead of pulling out the cash and giving it to him, I found it that he was running through his cash pretty fast as well. So now it's going to be a lot easier for me to just transfer funds from my checking account over to his AMX Bluebird account. So not only will I not be pulling out as much cash, but I will also be able to see where my father's money is going as well. So moving right along, as you can see here, this is Mobile Capital One. It says here in the category that it is a credit card payment. That's great. Payroll. Here is my actual paycheck. Although I am the owner of AMB Credit Consultants, I am an employee of AMB Credit Consultants, and I also receive a W-2 health insurance just like any other employee would. So you always want to make sure that when you are receiving a paycheck or your payroll from your employer, you want to make sure that that's specifically put in the description for your category so that Mint can categorize that. Okay, so here where it says gateway services, as you can see in the description, it may say gateway, but once you see this little tab here at the bottom where it says web payment gateway services, internet payment, what that actually is when I started my business, we have a gateway for us to process credit cards. And I know it is a big no-no, but when I first started my business, I was using my personal account for my business account. And now that I know better, 99% of our transactions are now coming out of the business account. However, this gateway service fee is one thing that we were not able to catch. So that money is still coming out of my personal account, which of course throws off my budget. So as soon as I get a chance to transfer everything over or transfer this gateway over, I will. But until then, this is not electronic and software. So I would need to change this category. And the best way for me to do that is, of course, to click on it, click on the arrow, and find the best category suitable for that transaction. And I'm going to give you time to think, what would I change that category to? For me, since it is associated with a business, I would just make it a business service. I wouldn't go this in depth or even add a category for it. I'm just going to make it business services. The money source is my mortgage. AES already picked up that it's a student loan. Of course, the teller cash, we're going to change that to cash ATM. And as you can see, at one point in time, when I made a payment from my phone, Capital One caught it as a mobile payment. But when I went online, Capital One called it as business services. It is not business service. It is a credit card payment. So I will click here. And again, I will look for the tab that is best suitable for the category of this description. So let's see if we can find credit card payment. And as you can see, I'm doing this right along with you all. This is my first time going in here changing the categories, which isn't good since I've been saving for a while. But I found it here, transfer, and we are going to select credit card payment. Ta-da! And again, here's old gateway. We're going to change that over to business service. And once you get it, you honestly got it. You know, it's just really click, looking for it, and changing it. It's very easy. Here, EDISR internet, I'm looking at that like, what in the world is that? But I can see in the lower tab where it says statement name, e-payment for Discover internet payment. So my Discover card is where I make the payment. It did catch it under the category as credit card payment, but I'm going to change that description here so that I can understand it better. And all I am going to do is put Discover. Uh-oh, it sounds like it already came up. Bingo. And then here again, teller cash, click on the arrow, uncategorize the cash and ATM, and it's going to begin to create a budget for me and a trend showing me how much cash I pull out. So again, this is a lot, and I know that it can be tedious, but it is very, 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 very important that we go in and we categorize and change the description so that Mint.com can create a budget for us so that we can get a better understanding of where our money is going. And also so that we can use this effective, because later on in the challenge, we are going to be using this Mint.com app a lot. So it's very important that we go in and we change these categories. You can also do this from your phone. If you don't want to sit at the computer all day and change these categories, you can do this from your phone, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Be sure to, when you get a chance, you know, some downtime is when I highly recommend that you go in and take out the time to change these categories. And once you see, once you get it, you got it. It's very easy. It's just tedious to do. And it's almost like having to do it for each one, but it's going to be so worth it in the end. So that completes the tutorial on how to change the descriptions and categories in your Mint.com app. See you later.